This is the heartbeat of human services, a peek into the inspiring stories of our community and all things DHS. Join us.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Heartbeat of Human Services podcast. I'm your co-host, Allison Vota, and I'm here with Farah Duredia from the library. She is a marketing and promotions associate. And thank you for coming on our show.
Thank you for having me.
And before we begin, the reason that we wanted the library on here is because June is actually Family Reunification Month. And a theme that we've been seeing over and over again from the state, from the county level, is this idea of building family resiliency. And my personal belief is the library is such a great resource for this. And that's why every time we've met and I've communicated with you, I've wanted to focus on what the library does because I think it's a very underutilized resource in our community. So I'm going to start off asking you about your role at the library. And if you want to share your title again, you can, and just we'll go into what the library does after that.
Sure. So my name is Farah Duredia, and I am the Marketing and Promotions Associate for Kern County Library. And I basically handle marketing and promotions, but everything above anything really that has to do with the library. Lately, we've been in the press a lot, for different things. And so I like to do those little press junkets. And I just like talking about the library. So if you have a conversation with me about the library, I can go on forever.
Perfect. I think we feel the same way about DHS too. So completely understandable. So I know that there is some stuff coming up during the summer. I know you're very busy with it. So I want to start off by talking about the summer reading program.
Summer reading is like the best time of the year for me, even better than Christmas. So the way I would describe summer reading is it's literally the day after Thanksgiving times 2 months. It is so busy. You have people kind of waiting outside to come in, and it all starts as soon as the doors open. So there's always story times going on. There's summer lunch, which I'm sure we'll talk about later. And they have performances and Lego clubs and STEM activities and movies and all kinds of things. So lots of stuff happening in the summer, and the challenge is super easy. All you have to do is read for 10 hours, or you can read 10 books and you can get a prize. The children always walk away guaranteed with a book that is provided by the Friends of the Kern County Library Incorporated. And they also get local incentives, which is so nice that our community is actually investing in these readers. And so sometimes we get, like free meals from fast food restaurants or local restaurants. And then we also get kind of like grand prizes too. So some of the bigger prizes. And it's really cool for adults too, because they can actually enter to win. Once they read their 10 books or 10 hours, they'll actually get entered into a drawing to win like a grand prize. So I don't want to give any spoilers out, but last year, like the Marriott had donated like a staycation for, a family, or just adults, however you want to, if you want a vacation from your kids or anything like that. But it's really nice. It's really nice to see the community get involved and, help promote and sponsor the library.
Wait, I never heard that before. So the adults can enter into the summer reading program.
So summer reading challenge is anywhere from birth to, they say 100, but it can go up to 110.
That is awesome. I feel like I'm definitely going to partake. I mean, I already do that, so that would be great.
Well, I'm going to sign all of you guys up this year.
Perfect. Well, okay. So you talked about some of the activities that are going to be happening. Can you give us like a sneak peek of like who might be there or what sort of activities could be there?
Definitely. So all of our locations are going to have big performances. So some of the locations will have Natalia come out, and she's singer, songwriter. And then we also have the Magic of Josiah. So he's a magician that will be visiting all 22 locations. We have Luis Beltran Cruz, who will be doing a percussion and jazz performance. And then we have Rudy Paris from The Voice, who will be coming out
That's awesome.
and showing kids how he was able to express himself and sing, which is the theme of the challenge this year, is find your voice. So it kind of all goes together, and I love it.
That's awesome. I think we've talked about Rudy before last time we were encountered. That's so cool that you could get someone like that to kind of help promote the summer program and support families. So the next thing I wanted to get into, because you just talked about the summer reading program, part of that you said was the lunch, right?
Yes.
So let's kind of talk about what food is going to be not food that's going to be offered, but how that works for the family, I guess.
Sure. So summer lunch, again, one of my favorite things about summer reading. This year, though, I'm really excited because for the first time ever, all 22 Kern County Library locations are going to be summer lunch sites. With that being said, basically any child between the ages of 2 to 18 can go in and grab a free meal, no questions asked. Grab a meal, watch the performance, do whatever activity that they have going on. They usually like to have like passive activities during that time too, whether it be like coloring on butcher paper that's on the table, or putting a little craft together while you're hanging out and eating. But yes, all 22 locations. And it's really exciting. It's made possible with our partners with the different school districts. KCSOS is helping out huge kind of with this. And so I'm excited that we can actually bring this program to all 22 locations this year.
Okay, so you keep saying the number 22. I'm going to quiz you. How many, or can you name the cities that the library locations are in?
I can.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Ready? We've got about I think 7 or 8 in Bakersfield. I think it's 7. And then we have Arvin, Lamont, Wasco, Delano, Fraser Park, California City. We've got Tehachapi. We've got the Kern River Valley, Lake Isabella area. We've got, let's see, what am I missing? I feel like I'm missing at least 4 of them.
Okay.
I just don't. Oh my gosh, put me on the spot right here.
We won't show your boss this. It's fine. But there is a place where they can find out where the locations are, which is the website.
Yes. So if you go to kerncountylibrary.org, you'll be able to get a list of all the locations and the time. So the time is going to stay the same throughout the locations. It's going to be from 11:30 to 12:30. Is going to be when lunch will be happening, and then there'll be stuff before and stuff after, but only Monday through Fridays.
Okay. And so the overall hours of the library have changed as well, though. Can you talk about that?
Yes. I'm excited because we are expanding and extending. We're expanding days and extending hours. And a couple of our locations have kind of already extended their days and hours. But just recently, our 2 busiest branches, so Beale and Southwest, are now open Monday through Saturday.
Oh, nice.
Which is really nice for me and other working moms, and for anybody really who who is kind of on that Monday through Friday 9 to 5 grind. So they have Saturdays 10 to 4 now. Fridays are, I know I kind of went backwards on Saturdays 10 to 4. Fridays are 10 to 6, and Monday through Thursday are 10 to 7.
That is actually so awesome. I live in the Southwest, and I remember for so long I wanted to go in and get a library card, and I look at the hours and I'm like,
I know.
I can't go. It's closed. So this is really exciting. And if you aren't familiar with the library locations, the Southwest is near the marketplace. So it's such a good location, and I'm so glad that people actually be able to go after school and after work. That's exciting.
Yes. So Southwest is down there, and then Beale, of course, is here downtown, which is, in my opinion, our prettiest location, because it's so big, it's so much going on. But I do also like the Fraser Park location. It's one of our newest locations.
Okay, I'll have to check that out. I haven't been to any but the Southwest and Beale, so that's pretty cool. I'm your host, Allison, and I'm interrupting today's podcast to highlight positions available at Kern DHS. We highly recommend applying if you're looking for a position that can help launch your county career. The following positions are available: group counselor, housekeeper, programmer, human services aide, social service worker, and human services technician. Apply online today at kerncounty.com under the Careers tab. Thank you for listening, and now back to the podcast. So at the Beale Library, you have that big area for, do you guys like put on events in there, in that room?
In the auditorium,
Yeah,
yes.
the auditorium.
Yes. Yeah. So our lunch happens in the auditorium. It's set up already for that, and we kind of don't mess with the setup because it's like such a constant Monday through Friday thing that to take it down and put it back up would be such a pain. So we've tried to keep the setup the same, but the performances and the guest story times, I forgot to tell you about those. We do have guest story times too.
Okay.
And those happen during lunch. If it's a story time, if it's a guest story time kind of before lunch, it happens in the children's area. But if it's during lunch, then it will happen kind of on that stage.
Okay, so the guest story time, that's going to be happening during summer reading as well. And do you already know who those people are going to be?
We are working with people right now. A lot of our Friendly County staff will be there. It's just kind of still confirming dates, but we do have we'll have a robust lineup for sure.
Awesome. And so what time of day does that normally happen?
The guest story times, so if they happen during lunch, they'll kind of start I want to say like 11:30, 11:45ish, kind of get the kids kind of settled in before they start reading. If it happens before lunch, so in like the children's area, they usually start at like right at I would say 10:30.
Okay. Awesome. So the last time I was at Beale, you gave us a tour, and one thing I wanted to highlight was, first of all, there's a ton of resources just at Beale alone, right? And one of the things I saw was this booth that you were preparing for aging an adult. And I don't know if you know this, but DHS is actually merging with aging an adult. And so I got really excited, and I want you to share kind of what's happening there right now, maybe what you've seen as the bonus to that area and how it came about.
So I think it's such a great idea to help our our elderly population, because they're the ones that come in, right? That I remember when I was working usually during like the kind of COVID time when we were open for limited capacity, those were the people that were coming in that needed help setting up those COVID shot appointments because, they couldn't do it from their phone. They needed a computer and they didn't have a computer. And so, and not just that, there's so many other things that they need help with that it's kind of hard to give them that specialized one-on-one help that they need when it comes to using the computer or any of their smart devices. So it's so exciting to see them come in and actually get that personalized help, whether it be on the computer or their smart devices. So I see people come in all the time, that want to learn how to read on an ebook reader, so like a Kindle and things like that. And it used to be where we would just kind of guide them like, oh yeah, go here, but now we can actually show them how to use it, spend a little time with them, and it's nicer because the font gets bigger, and so it's easier for them because we want to keep them reading. And so I've seen people do that. I've seen people come in and get help with their email because the thing that they want to do is email their loved ones, and it's hard to especially if they don't know how to use it, or when you go to when you see these people and they've got like the most advanced smartphone, but they don't know how to
Yeah.
use it because the salesperson just sold them, a phone, and they didn't want to help them with it. So it's so nice to see them, come in and get that help that they need.
Okay, and I know you had talked about how you're planning on making it so people can book appointments for that.
Yes. So
Okay.
the booking appointments, we're still kind of working the kinks off of the website, but they should be able to book appointments. And our liaison for that will actually be traveling to the other library locations
Oh,
too.
awesome.
So I know she is starting in June. She's going to host a kind of email 101 and get technical help like after her presentation, and kind of after helping those people access their email. She's going to do kind of like on the spot help at those locations. So she does have a lineup for that already. But yeah, her plan is to kind of visit those kind of more rural locations and help the seniors there.
If someone was interested in attending one of the like you said, the schedule that she has, where would they be able to find that info?
So they can always visit our website, kernlibrary.org, and we will have our events listed on there.
Awesome. Okay, so kind of going back to, I mean, that was a great example of something that people might not know the library offers. Can you expand on some other amazing things that the library offers to families?
Oh my gosh, there's so many things. One of the things I'd like to kind of talk about is our partnership with Baby Cafe.
Okay.
So Baby Cafe is an organization that helps soon-to-be moms or new moms with breastfeeding, and they meet at the library every Tuesday, and they're run basically by volunteers who are lactation consultants, and people come in and get advice and get help, with feeding and with any other questions that they have. But a lot of people don't know that. So
I definitely didn't know that.
yeah,
That's awesome.
that's a great resource. And of course our online databases are such a great resource. We just got so we have a genealogical society that's also in-house at Beale. We have a local history room, which is also a great resource. We've got newspaper archives, so you can you can be anywhere and check the newspaper archive, as long as you have your library card. Of course, we have like the different Skillshare courses, Coursera courses, LinkedIn Learning courses, all free with your library card. Pronunciators, so if you want to learn a new language and you don't want to kind of spend money on Duolingo or Rosetta Stone, you can, with your library card, you can learn a new language. It's really nice because if you sign in, once you sign in with your library card and you make an account, you can go through like lessons and things, and it saves your spot. So I really like that.
Really cool.
Yeah. We
I'll look into
host
that.
beginning English classes at some of our library locations, citizenship prep classes at some of our library locations. Let's see, I'm telling you, I can go on and on.
Please do, honestly. This is awesome.
And my favorite one, obviously, and I'm a little biased towards this, but you get free ebooks and audiobooks and TV episodes and movies and music, all through your Kern County Library card with the various apps that we have. And if you're a person that is purchasing those things, I would say you should stop right now.
Yeah. I have to say that yesterday I got an alert from Libby saying the Fourth Wing was ready, and I got so excited. That's one of the most popular books right now. But yeah, so if you haven't taken advantage of the Libby app and you're a reader, or honestly, there's a variety of other apps as well.
Right.
You should. Or you can just go in person and they're all there as well. So
yeah, definitely. Libby is one of my favorite ones. I like Libby because there's no limit, but there is a wait, right?
Yeah.
But we also have Hoopla that you do have a limit of how many items you can check out. But if you are just checking out ebooks and audiobooks, I mean, the average person doesn't kind of go over their limit. But if you're watching TV episodes or, are into graphic novels and you do single issues, that does kind of take up your checkouts. But speaking of graphic novels, they also do volumes too on there. So you always want to make sure if it's a single issue or it's a volume, also, Hoopla lets you go frame by frame, which is really nice. So it zooms into a frame, and then when you swipe, it takes you to the next frame. So if you're an avid graphic novel reader, Hoopla is like the best for that.
I'm looking at our audio engineer, Antoinette. She's really excited over there. That's her jam.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So what book are you currently reading?
I am currently still working on a book called Clytemnestra. She was Agamemnon's wife during the Trojan War, and I guess I didn't really, in school you just kind of learn about Helen and Paris, and you do learn a little bit about Agamemnon but you don't know about Helen, or at least I wasn't aware that Helen had a half twin sister.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And it's a story about her and kind of everything that she goes through, and it's actually really sad because she she's a warrior, and because in Sparta women are kind of taught how to fight and how they're equal to men, and they have a visitor come, and he's kind of infatuated with her, and she ends up liking him, and they get married, and they have a kid, and then Agamemnon and his brother show up, and they are kind of banished from their homeland, and so they show up, and Agamemnon takes a liking for her and ends up just slaughtering her husband and her.
History is dark.
Yeah, history is very dark. And he ends up taking her as a wife, and her father's totally okay with this, which is mind-boggling to me. And so it's not about Helen, which usually everything is about Helen. So it's not about Helen, it's about her sister. And so I'm kind of like in the middle of it right now, where I think about 15 years have passed, and she's like slowly brewing her revenge, and you find out what happens when someone is so steeped in hatred.
Oh wow. Oh my gosh. That was a lot to take in.
I know, but it's very good.
Yeah.
It's very, very good.
It sounds good. It does sound good. Before we kind of sign off here, I want to know if there's anything else you want people to know about the library.
I would say, take some time out of your day, visit the library. You will be surprised at all the things that you can find at any of our library locations. You will really be amazed by what the library staff do with very little. They do a lot with very little, and when you go in, you'll be so surprised to see what events and what they have planned. But especially visit us in the summer, because that is the most fun time ever.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
I'm your co-host Paola Hernandez, and welcome to today's Mindful Minute. Today's segment will be geared towards our extroverts. Relaxing looks different for everyone, and for our extroverts, talking and being around large crowds charges their battery. If that sounds like you, then check out some of these mindful events that you can fit into your weekend. Bakersfield Museum of Art is one of my favorites because of my love of art. Every month, they have a ton of community events that you can join. Some coming up include group meditation, Art After Dark, and Art Mix. You can find more dates and times on their website, bmoa.org, and click on their events tab. This has been your Mindful Minute.
Thank you for joining us for the Heartbeat of Human Services podcast today. We hope you'll join us next time.